Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the City of Douglas Mayor and Commission meeting. This will serve as our regular meeting for October the 8th, 2018. The invocation, Commissioner Mike Gowan. Sir?
I'll take care of that. Let us pray. Father in heaven, we're grateful for thy blessings. We're thankful for our Savior Jesus Christ and his gospel.
Yes.
We're grateful for the opportunity we have to be gathered together to counsel, to carry forth our city's business. We're grateful for the opportunity we have to serve. We're thankful for all our citizens and for all our employees for the work that they put in to make our community a better place. We're grateful for the peace and prosperity that we enjoy within our community and within our country, particularly relative to many of thy children around the world. And we're thankful for the blessing of living in a country where we have freedom and opportunity provided to us. Father, we pray for thy Spirit as we begin the meeting, that we'll be able to properly deliberate and do the best that we can to continue to work toward progress within our city. We continue to pray for peace and understanding. We pray that the lines of communication would remain open, that we'll be able to listen with respect toward one another. Father, we're mindful of the storm that approaches, and we pray, if it be thy will, that thou would temper the storm, that it would not have too much of a negative effect on so many people that are within its path. That if it be thy will, that the winds and the waves will be tempered. We pray that we would do the best we can to prepare, so that whatever comes, that we would be in a position to help each other and look out for our community and all those around us within our power. We love thee and we ask for these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Thank you. Next we have the Pledge of Allegiance. As always, we're going to be led by the Coffee County Navy Junior ROTC. If you would, please stand and face the flag.
Face and salute. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready? 2. Right. Face. Forward. Arch. Left. Right. Left. Left. Right. Right. Left.
If you would, please, would you strike item number 4, because we added the minutes to the consent agenda, and we also added, after the approval of the order of the agenda, since we're in the midst, or Hurricane Michael is upon us, Red Cross representative Mr. Larry Neesmith is going to give us a quick update. So with those changes, at this time I entertain a motion to approve the order of the agenda.
So moved.
Second. It's been motion and second. Any further discussion?
Discussion.
Yes.
Okay. So where will we insert the issue with Mr. Allen?
That'll be when we do the work session items brought forward for discussion and question.
Okay, so I think I need to make mention then that the item concerning Ricketson needs to be.
It's also brought forward. It's brought forward also.
Okay.
Because it wasn't unanimous.
That's right. Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda, we will have representative from the Red Cross, Mr. Larry Neesmith, to give us an update on what's going on with Hurricane Michael. How you doing this evening?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Once again, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We're currently here to give you a brief update of what's going on. Currently, the city of Douglas and Coffee County We are on a tropical storm warning, although Michael is predicted to come in our path, meaning that tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm sorry, we should start getting a little bit of wind come in. Early Wednesday morning, we're expecting to get winds in excess of 39 to 40 miles per hour. That is where we're going to be concerned, and we may have to open up a shelter here, primarily for our local residents and for others evacuees that's coming in. Mind you, at this time we are just on standby, but we are asking everybody to make sure that you have your home taken care of. Please make sure you have your pets taken care of. This is going to be a dangerous storm. Projectly, we don't know yet. God's been looking over us for the last couple of storms, and we pray that He's going to spare us this one. Amen. Right now, we haven't actually made a decision on where we're going to house all of the people if we project to come, but right now we will be going to the city gym. I've got with the city manager. The mayor is alerted over everything that's going on. Please, if we do open up this shelter, and you locals, please bring your medication. Please, and let us know that you need it. It may be a curfew in effect at this time. We don't know. So please, if you do have to come to the shelter, bring all medication. Let us know, because only law enforcement and essential people will be, on the road at this time. Mayor, I'll give you an update. We have a meeting tomorrow morning at 8:30. I will let you know exactly if and when we do have to open up the shelter tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Neesmith.
Thank you, Mr. Neesmith.
Next on the agenda, we have charity donations by Helping Hands Bikers. That's you again, Mr. Neesmith. Face the camera.
Right now.
Well, who we have here tonight is the Helping Hand Bikers. This group, they help with organizing the motorcycle events for the barbecue and outdoor festival, and they're here tonight to present 2 donations to 2 local charities. And it's my understanding those donations will go to the Coffee High Band Boosters and also to the American Legion Post 515. So that's what they're here to present tonight.
Is there anyone from here want any of those organizations?
Yes, they're right here.
Okay, I was just gonna say.
Both of them.
Praise the Lord.
On behalf of the Helping Hand Bikers LLC, we'd like to present Mr. Marcus Birch with the Trojan Band Boosters a check for $300. We also have a check for $300 to go to the American Legion.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Just a quick point about bikers. Sometimes we have a position and we have an understanding of what bikers are. They're on the Harleys and they're got these beards and they're tatted up and they wear all this leather. My mind was changed a couple years ago. I think it's biker, B-A-C-A, B-A-C-A. Yeah. For these guys and young ladies to go out and raise money to help some of our organizations totally changed and revamped what I thought of biker organizations. They do a wonderful job, and you can't judge a book by its cover. You just can't. And I was just absolutely blown away a couple years ago about all the activities and the good that bikers do in our community. And I appreciate that. On behalf of the citizens of Douglas, we're greatly appreciative of all our bikers. Y'all ride on. Okay? Thank you. Y'all take care. God bless. Next on the agenda, we have reading to appeal a portion of the alcohol beverage license ordinance. Our city attorney, Mr. Jerome Adams, how are you doing?
I'm good, Mr. Mayor. How are you?
Doing well.
Okay, we don't need to have a second reading. We had a second reading the meeting prior to this one, and the vote was 3-3, and the ordinance provided for a repeal of prohibition of the sale of alcoholic beverages in the town center district. And the Downtown Development Authority has recommended the repeal of this prohibition, and it also recommends under the ordinance that was read that a pub be added, and a pub would be no greater than 1,200 square feet. So it was 3-3 last time, so y'all need to vote again.
Need to vote again. So at this point,
say for clarification, Mayor, that I understand this to be kind of a possibly allowing a temporary license for someone who would be having an outdoor event or something like that.
There are two ordinances that you're going to consider. That's 3-3. This is the one that repeals the restaurant.
Right. Okay.
Prohibition thing.
The size and all.
And
okay.
also, you can have a pub.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
At this time, I entertain a motion.
Second. So move.
It's a motion. Second.
Has there been a motion and second?
I so move.
Okay, second.
So it's been motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
What was that? 4-2?
4-2.
All right, motion carries. Next.
All right. The next ordinance would allow people to walk around in the town center district and consume an alcoholic beverage. Many cities allow this now. It's called something like a sip and stroll.
First Friday.
Yeah, you would be allowed to drink, one alcoholic beverage. You would have to have an armband and that kind of thing. The alcoholic beverage had to be in a cup. The ordinance came up last time and it was 3-3. So you all need to vote on this one again to permit people to consume and walk around with an alcoholic beverage in the town center district.
At this time, I entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
It's been motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That's 3-3. That's to me. I vote in favor. Next on the agenda, we have the items placed on the consent agenda. As always, we'll turn it over to our city manager to read off the items that were placed on the consent agenda.
Mayor and Commission, we have 7 items coming forward on the consent agenda. First one is item 1, the approval of the minutes for September 24th and October 1st. Item 3, approval of the land lease renewal for Walter Lyons. Item 4, discuss the lease agreement on the airport hangars, or approval of the lease agreements on the airport hangar. Item 5, ratification for the closure of Brooks Avenue. Item 6, the RAS pump at the wastewater treatment plant replacement approval. Item 7, the Elixir anodizing new facility economic rate approval. And item 9, the change orders for the widening project. And that's all the items on the consent.
Thank you. At this time, I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda are the items that, from the work session items that were brought forward. Mr. City Manager, lead us through it.
First item is item 2, the announcement of the appointment to the Airport Commission, Georgia Henderson.
All right,
We have four appointments on the airport commission, so the recommendation tonight is to allow staff to advertise the 4 vacancies for a period of 2 weeks. And then we will bring the agenda back to Mayor and Commission on October 22nd with our recommendations.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Next item be item 10, tab I from the work session. This is for the Mayor and Commission to discuss and make a recommendation on the 2017 LMIG paving contract update. Mike Hudson.
As discussed in the work session, we had an overrun on the 2017 LMIG paving project of 389.3 tons of leveling asphalt, which equates to a total price of $33,285.15. And as also discussed in the work session, we will be looking for Mayor and Commission to make a decision on how we want to handle this issue.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson. At this time, I entertain a motion.
So moved.
It's been motion.
Second.
It's been motion and second. Any further discussion?
When you say, excuse me if I might ask, Mayor, when you say how we should handle this issue, again, my question is with regard to going forward, will this reduce the total amount that we have committed to pay the construction company or, you know, for asphalt in the future? Can this, will this at some point be offset?
No, ma'am. This is a standalone invoice strictly for the 2017 LMIG project. So there will be no reimbursement down the road.
No reimbursement.
I know no reimbursement. My question is,
Can this $33,285 be taken off the 2019,
2018?
the future grant monies or whatever?
Well,
future projects that they do.
Yeah.
No.
Budgetary wise, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
No.
It's a separate pot of money.
Right.
Separate.
Because what we've agreed to for them for in the future, we've agreed to.
Okay. So where will this come from?
Hopefully through, I mean, if hopefully under expenses with it we don't spend this year, we'll come in short. I mean, come in under budget. If not, then he'll have to come from prior year surplus.
Okay.
And we're in discussion, right?
Correct.
Okay. So at the work session, I was in favor of it. It was something that was honest, trying to make something better. But however, I will state this: I cannot support us paying for that when it was not our fault if we cannot support Mr. Allen with reimbursing him of his money that he had to spend to develop that subdivision. So I know what I said in the work session and I meant well, but however, under the circumstances, I can't support it if we're not going to do right by Mr. Allen.
Okay.
No, mine is strictly another, I mean, you know, it's another concern or another thing that's budgetary. I trust your judgment and the gentleman's judgment who said when he was in the throes of trying to make a decision about asphalt, whether to put it down or not, he made a decision there. And just like we have situations with water and sewer and things where when we get into a project, we oftentimes have not taken everything into consideration, every factor that could possibly be out there. So I understand there can be an overage here, so I would be in favor of doing it.
Any other discussion?
I just feel like if
Mayor Pro Tem?
me personally, I mean, just like for example, like they said earlier in the order, if there's something that needs to be different, it should have been a change order that should have been brought forward. That's what any project we do. That's just like the other week, we couldn't go forth with these new projects because we had to prove what was going on because the cost of steel that went up. We had one price, but we still had to get it up, you know, the new price. So, I mean, I'm not in agreement of it, you know, about paying over, but I mean, you done did the work. And I mean, and then just like, for example, you can't just get back, can't take out what, you know, for the next grant that comes on. Yes, but I just, you know, I just feel like if it's right, if you do for one, you need to do for another. Right. I mean, that's just right, period.
Any other discussion? I've heard from Commissioner Pearson, Mr. Moore, Commissioner McNeil, and the Mayor Pro Tem. Commissioner Gowen, your comments?
I think what we heard during the work session is that we're getting the benefit, the materials that were paid for for that we're proposing to pay for used in the project. There's been no question about that, and it is going to add life to the roadways, giving us extra stability until it's time to repave it. I'm okay with doing paying for the materials.
Okay, Commissioner Taylor.
I'm against it because you know, spending the citizen money, once we set that price, then you know that's what we should pay. Whatever amount that was, that's what we should pay. No more, no less. You know, so I'm against it.
Outstanding. So it's been motioned and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
What's that? 3. All opposed?
Opposed.
I also oppose.
Thank y'all.
Next item.
Item 9, the commission directed us to bring back Mr. Roscoe Allen's request from the May of 2000 about the reimbursement for water and sewer work that was done at the Alderman Heights subdivision, and he is requesting reimbursement for his water and sewer.
I entertain a motion.
Off the motion that we reimburse Mr. Allen his monies, the expenses that he paid to develop Alderman Heights.
It's been motioned.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. Any further discussion? There is no discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
That's 4-2. Next on the agenda.
That's all the items from the work session, Mayor.
Thank you very much. At this time, we'll move to staff comments.
I want to start out by reminding everyone that registration is open for our annual Festival of Lights Christmas Parade that will be held on December 1st in Douglas. The theme this year is celebrate the music and melodies of Christmas. So we want to encourage business, civic groups, individuals to please get signed up and register and participate in the annual parade. This month, October, is Customer Appreciation Month with the City of Douglas. We're showing appreciation to our customers. Each Friday, our customer service department is hosting popcorn on Fridays, free to our customers, and also they can come in and register for a chance to win a $100 credit on their utilities. This will be given away on October the 26th. Our natural gas department is also hosting a promotion in the month of October. They're encouraging individuals who have natural gas in your home to sign up for free pilot lightings. If you need it, give them a call at 389-3427. Speak with Miss Patty and she will get you signed up. A lot of celebrations this month within city departments. Our fire department have a promotion. They participate in the National Fire Program, Fire Protection Program, and the theme this year is Look, Listen, and Learn. And this celebration is going on this week through the 13th, and they have many fire education programs that they're doing within the school, and not only during this week, but they do them year-round, but they also hold like a whole month-long series doing education awareness of fire safety to the public. And our public power, our electric department, which is Douglas Utilities also, another promotion is Public Power Week. If you see a lineman, you run into one, thank them because they're the ones out in this weather until it gets to a certain point, that is, trying to restore power in these hazardous times. So we thank them for the service that they give to our community. We have several job opportunities within the City of Douglas as well as bid announcements. Please go to our website for the full details as well. Thank you.
Junk,
one other one.
Junk drop off.
I was just going to go back and
okay,
get that one.
there you go.
Thank you.
You need to be today.
We now have gone to 2 Saturdays a month. These are so popular, and it gives our citizens a chance to really clean up around their home. So now we don't have any excuses waiting at one time a month to let stuff stack up. So this past Saturday we held one. The next one will be on October the 2nd. So they're going to be held on the 1st and 3rd Saturdays, and this will be from now on until we change it up. But as long as there's a demand from the service, from our customers to clean up, we're going to provide this service to them. And that's the community drop off.
What was the other date in October?
October the 20th. The other one was this past Saturday on the 6th. We just had one this past weekend. So October the 20th.
It was a lot of people.
Yes.
That's a good deal. Thank you, Ms. Henderson.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have mayor and commission comments. Let's start out with the mayor pro temp.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I don't mind
Just went blank?
It went blank.
You're not old enough for that.
Ma'am?
I said you're not old enough for that to happen, Mayor. Mayor Pro
But
Tem.
it can happen. I had a stroke then.
Uh-oh.
And everything went blank at one time. But anyway, I like my hats go off to the Coffee County Trojans, you know, on their game last week. You know, I mean.
It's too soon.
Yeah, it's too soon.
We're still hurt.
But my hats go off to them. Great game and everything. And also, the junk drop off was very great. They was wrapped around all the way down there by the post office. And I said to myself, we need another day for the citizens because they're gonna have a time, you know. But that was a great success. And also, my hats go off to Dr. Sellers at South Georgia State College on becoming the president. And I really enjoyed that. And I'm trying to see what else I got. My mind just went blank. But also that, and also Halloween is approaching us. It'll be the end of this month. We ask that everybody be careful. All the children be careful. And also pray for those families that lost loved ones in car accidents this weekend. And that's just, you know, that's sad. And my prayers go out to them because it was from the city of Douglas. And we just some blessed people because it could be us. Could be us, could be your child, could be somebody else's child, but God allowed us to breathe breath and to live life. And that's nothing to laugh about, nothing to smirk about. But I just thank God that He allowed us the opportunity to be here today. And that's about all I got and everything. So
thank you, Mayor Pro Temp. Commissioner Gower.
Good evening. I'd like to start by wishing happy birthday to my middle daughter, Sarah. She's my only brown-eyed daughter, and we love and appreciate her. She's an accomplished student, an aspiring gymnast, and a talented soccer player. Happy birthday, Sarah. I'm thankful that Mr. Neesmith came to give us an update on the hurricane, and I hope that everybody is taking that seriously and making proper preparations. One thing that you can do, and I would recommend, you know, we're liable to have some power outages due to the wind. Make sure that you're stockpiling water. Use empty containers as you may have available. You know, as many of you know, if you don't have power or you know your pumps aren't working or whatever, you can still flush the toilets if you have water available. Consider filling up bathtubs to stockpile water. If you have access to a generator, be a good time to get that out and check it and get fuel that you may need for that. Mother Nature, you know, allowing the Trojans maybe lining up against Valdosta Friday night. So everybody remember that, and let's see if we can get out there and support our Trojans. We know that's going to be a battle every time you line up against those guys. I'd like to extend congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs. Everybody knows, or everybody probably knows, they're 6-0 at this point, looking at another tough game, road game at LSU this weekend. Again, weather permitting. And I think as we speak right now, our Atlanta Braves are battling the Dodgers to see if the Braves can stay alive in the playoffs. So we're having some success on the athletic fields. And I believe that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. The Mayor Pro Temp has another issue.
Oh yeah, also today is the last day you can register to vote. Tomorrow. Okay, at that evening, the close of the day.
At 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock. Please, if you're not registered, please register and early vote. And we'll start in October, like the 3rd week.
October 15th.
October the 15th. We ask that everybody please go out and vote, because your voice matters. Your voice matters. If you don't have a ride, find a ride to vote. And that's all I just wanted to say about the voting.
Thank you. Commissioner Taylor?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to thank the elected department. We had an outage this past week, and thank those guys for responding within 30 minutes to make sure everyone had lights back in their homes and all, and my hats goes out to them. Also, thank whoever's in charge of the junk day, because it will benefit the citizens of Douglas by us creating 2 Saturdays. And to those that are still dumping trash on vacant lots, please do not do that. We have come up with 2 days, so if you have any junk, please wait until those days, and they'll be more than glad to take that trash and dump it for you. Man, that's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Pearson?
I'm still getting my thoughts together on that.
Commissioner Moore?
Thank you, Mayor. I just hope everybody prepares a little ahead for this hurricane, and button down and button up and stay tight and be careful, and may God bless each of you.
You ready, Commissioner Pearson?
I'll go ahead. I think I'm okay.
Okay. Thank you.
First of all, Mr. Allen wants me to clarify to the mayor and the council that his request was for the amount of money that he invested into developing Alderman subdivision. So I just like to ask on his behalf, are all of you clear as to what he was asking for? Not that he was asking for attorney fees and court costs. Was anybody unsure? Everybody was clear?
Correct.
Commissioner Taylor, you were clear?
My understanding was, he wanted that amount for everything,
No.
I did not talk to you earlier.
No.
So all I went was when I did not say about no loyalty, none of that.
He wanted what he had put into it to develop the property.
Okay.
Well, that's it. No loyalty, that's what I was talking about. It wasn't about all the money.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Thank you. Hold on for a second, Mr. Allen, you pressed for a vote and you received a vote. Now, I'm trying to be as professional as possible. This is a legal meeting and you're disrupting it. You walked over here twice and had conversation, and I did not say anything. Your issue has been voted on. Okay? So I'm asking you humbly to let us proceed with this legal meeting.
And let me clear this up. He was asking for $60,000. No.
So, okay.
No, that's not the amount, Commissioner Taylor. Commissioner Taylor,
please.
It's not $60,000.
Well, that's what you told me.
The commissioner.
No, I made the motion that he be reimbursed for what
it's already been voted on, sir.
But Commissioner Taylor is not clear with what he was asking.
None of y'all understand it.
No.
Okay. Mr. Allen, please. Mr. Allen, this is a legal meeting. You are disrupting a legal meeting. No. Okay. Okay, would you please have a seat, Mr. Allen? Thank you. Commissioner Pearson?
So Commissioner Taylor, being that you see that was not correct, are you still with your vote?
What amount is he asking for? Nobody have said.
The cost was, I think, $38,000. That's what he's asking for.
I mean, can we go back?
Sure we can. We haven't adjourned yet.
We've got full votes, so it says no.
That's just.
But you don't understand no action. That's all I'm saying.
Mr. Allen, I've explained that. I'm trying to get it back.
My thing is this right here. We can go back, and if somebody, we're still in the meeting, is to rescind, or Yeah, reconsideration is out.
Reconsider.
So we can rescind, and then, because I didn't vote because it was 4-2, and then I'll vote. Because I was crystal clear on what he was asking.
Okay, you were clear.
I was clear.
So, Mr. Taylor.
I wasn't crystal clear. Well,
you were not
during
clear.
this session, that's what he had told me. That's what he wanted. You know what I'm saying?
So I was crystal clear on what he was asking for.
Okay. So since Commissioner Taylor wasn't clear.
Well, we got 1, 2, 3.
It'll be 3-3, and I'll break the tie.
Okay, well, let's go back.
No, that was it.
No, it wasn't. We haven't voted.
We had already voted.
Rescinded, consider.
We voted when? I'm saying now with Commissioner Taylor changing his, Mr. Mayor.
He's authorized to change his vote.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, let's do this right here. I entertain a motion to rescind the vote on Mr. Allen's proposal.
So moved.
It's been motioned.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I'm in favor.
You in favor?
Yeah.
That's just to rescind now. That's all we're voting on is to rescind. What was the count?
3-3.
3-3. I will also agree to rescind and revote.
Okay.
So now I will entertain a motion to approve Mr. Roscoe Allen $38,000.
As I requested earlier, I offer the motion that the mayor and council agree to reimburse Mr. Allen for the money that he spent, $38,000, to develop Alderman Circle.
So
before we do that, I got one question. He brought the question was, did we for Mr. Locke, the other developer, that
the policy was in effect when they did it.
Okay.
They came after him.
They came after him?
Yes.
No, they didn't.
No.
This is what I'm trying to find out.
No.
Now, if they done the rest of the developers, if they allowed.
Mr. Commissioner Taylor, the record states that they had been grandfathered in. That's what the minutes say. But their properties were done after Mr. Allen's request.
Oh, okay.
Their properties, 4 property owners' properties were developed after Mr. Allen's request because it was stated that they had been grandfathered in.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of granting Mr. Roscoe Allen $38,000?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
That's to me. I oppose. Next.
Oh, I think so. I was talking.
You were talking.
Okay. I want to also commend Dr. Sellers as well on her investiture as president at South Georgia State College. I attended that ceremony as well, and it was very, very enlightening. South Georgia State College, well, South Georgia College as we knew it, but now South Georgia State College, has been present in Douglas for over 100 years. And so Dr. Sellers is the first African American, period, male or female, to take on this position. So she is definitely to be commended. Let's see. Regarding voting, I like to say that absentee ballot voting started September the 18th, and I think the last day to get your absentee ballot mailed is on November the 2nd, if I'm correct. You will be able to early vote starting October the 15th. That's next week. And you'll be able to do that until November the 2nd. And they are supposed to have 1 or 2 Saturday days to vote. I know October the 27th will be a Saturday to vote. Also, so we're saying all of that, there's no excuse for people to not vote, because as you all can see, in this democracy that we live in, we're in a democratic society where things are supposed to happen by majority vote rules. Although sometimes majority vote is not always right, However, majority vote rules. So if you do not exercise your right to vote and put the people in office who are going to represent you and your interests, then it's nobody's fault but yours when people get up there and don't do what they are supposed to do. You know, once upon a time that I was born, 1961, and I remember seeing on the television, early 60s, probably 65 or so. I can't say for sure, but I know I was young. And I saw...
You wasn't big lion, you know that. You were a big lion. Election time come around, you and me, mark my word. After I spent $100, I'm going to spend it. You're a big lion, what you is. I called you after that meeting, you said that you had no problem.
Mr. Allen,
you
please.
A big lion, y'all. You always that bullshit.
Commissioner Pearson, sorry about the interruption.
Big lion, what you is.
I remember seeing on the television a lot of African Americans being hosed down with water hoses, being bitten by dogs, all to try to get equal rights. And now that the laws have been passed for African Americans to have equal so-called rights, we still live in a society where we don't really have them. We have them to a certain extent. But it's not only African Americans who don't have equal rights. Women sometimes don't have equal rights. People of certain sexual favoritism or whatever don't have equal rights. And the bottom line is we are all human beings. And we deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. Nobody is any better than anyone else. Amen. I came on this council because I had seen some things happen that I didn't agree with. And I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to make a good difference. I didn't come up here to make enemies, although I have, because I have been very outspoken about a lot of things. But I can truly say I have voted my conscience and not based anything on any race or whatever, but what I thought to be fair. I still pray that one day we will all be able to have equal rights. I really do, and it was a perfect example here tonight about one group of people being treated different from another group. This commission was ready to vote Ricketson Construction for the overage that they went with asphalt, to give that, for us to pay that $30-something thousand. But Mr. Allen, who during that time developed a subdivision, and he was told that it had been suspended where developers would have it paid for them by the city. But I've never seen that in writing where it was actually suspended. I've never seen that. I disagreed with it then when it came before us in 2000 and something, and it came back again tonight, and here it is. He's still being denied the money that he had to pay, but other developers got it paid for them by the city. And I don't understand, because, you know, when I first came on board in 1999, there were 3 blacks and 4 whites. And some people say that, you know, you would expect to be mistreated, which you shouldn't really expect to be mistreated under anybody's leadership. But you can kind of understand it when the people of another color are in charge. But you can't understand it when the people of your own color are in charge. A lot of people talk about I'm racist, I'm racist, I'm racist. You can say what you want to say, but myself and Mayor Paul, we're the same color. I speak what I feel is true, regardless of the color. So if I was a racist person, I wouldn't dare say what I'm sitting here saying now. Because the bottom line is, when you get a majority black council, you expect things to run differently from how they ran 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. You expect things to be fair. You expect things to be fair. I heard you smirk, Commissioner Moore, but you do.
Yeah, you wanted to be black.
No, sir. You were willing to vote for Mr. Rickerson to get the money. But you're not willing to vote for Mr. Allen. It's clear as night and day. I was going to vote for Mr. Rickerson, but not if you all were going to mistreat Mr. Allen. I was in favor of Mr. Rickerson getting that, us paying for that money. I was in favor of that. But I can't sit here and do wrong.
That's right.
I can't sit here and do that. And that would have been wrong for me to vote for Mr. Rickerson, for the city to absorb the money of Mr. Rickerson, but not for us to absorb it for Mr. Allen. That would have been wrong in my opinion. And that's what I wholeheartedly believe. You know, I was really hurt. I'm not going to call a name, but city supposed to go to DCA, and I didn't want to mention this. And see what, you know, oftentimes black people feel sometimes that they've got to go above and beyond to show white folk that they're not prejudiced when it comes down to dealing with their own color. And I'm just giving y'all some race 101 tonight about what it's like being black. Cause see, I've lived in the black community all my life, so I know how some of us operate. We are afraid for it to be said that we did a favor for another black, because they don't want to be said that, oh, that person is racist, they're prejudiced. You know, so we'll sometimes discriminate against our own to prove a fact to white folk. But you know, like I was about to say, I was real hurt last week when I found out that we were getting an award from DCA, and like I say, not calling no names, my feelings were hurt. I think they know it. They told me it was not intentional, and it may not have been. And I want to believe that, because God knows I love them from the bottom of my heart. But I felt overlooked because I didn't get invited to attend the DCA annual awards. I went last year, but I didn't get invited this year. And I'm just talking out my heart tonight. I'm putting it all out, because I can't hold stuff in. And anybody who know me know I'm gonna say what I feel, not trying to hurt anybody, don't want anybody to feel bad. That ain't what it's about. But Mr. Mayor, he came to me one of my last meetings saying, what can we do to get on track?
We agreed to a meeting on Saturday.
Yeah, and I didn't call you.
Correct.
And you didn't call me.
I'm still open for that meeting.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. I am too, but honestly, I'm not comfortable to have it. I'm just not. I'm just not. That's why I didn't call you.
Okay. That's understandable.
Yes, sir. Thank you for understanding. I just don't know what we can do. I honestly don't. And I'm not the kind of person that can sit here and just lie. I'm not a liar. I can't sit and lie and fake the funk. I can't do it, y'all. I've never tried it, and I never will try it. I've got to give it to you straight, because my conscience will whoop me if I lied to you knowing I was lying. It's hard for me to lie. I know you're getting tired. I'm about done, Commissioner. I'm about done, but I'm spilling my heart out up here one more time. Because like I said, when I came on board, I wanted to make a positive difference. But see, some of you mad because Mr. Harold didn't win, made y'all's mind up, and I heard the comments that y'all were not going to work with me. I heard them. That hurt too. But you know, in this line of work, you got to have tough skin.
Amen.
So, sometimes, as I was saying, that you all might not believe, but sometimes black tend to And I don't know if the word would really be discriminate against blacks. I don't know if that's the right word. I might have chose the wrong word. But sometimes we're just not fair. And some of you wouldn't even have a clue to what I'm talking about. But I can say this. My feelings were hurt when I wasn't invited to the DCA Awards. And I feel that that's a result of what has been established up here. I feel like that comes as a result of the leadership that's up here. Because when that night, that issue, when we were talking about combining those positions, I think that sent a message that although some people might have felt that some commissioners should be disrespected, I feel that sent a message even more to disrespect some commissioners. And it's wrong. It's wrong. But I can say that leadership requires temperament. It requires temperament. And I can say, I know there have been some times that I, Commissioner Pearson, have gotten upset. Gotten upset up here. A pet peeve of mine is to see anybody mistreated. That's a pet peeve of mine. Even in school growing up as a young girl. When other kids who could fight with bullied kids, I would try to stop them. I've never liked to see folks fight. I like to see folks getting along. But for someone to be mistreated is a pet peeve of mine. And I felt that what was going on with Mr. Polk was an injustice. I felt like it was injustice. And there have been other injustices that's gone on. And you try to come on board, you want to come on board because you want to make a difference. You want to make things right. Ms. Cheryl spoke about it at the work session, how sometimes some people are stereotyped and just not given a fair chance. So I was hoping that things would be better when I got up here. That's what I was hoping for. In closing, Mr. Mayor, this has to change. What's happening up here is not good. It's not good. We have the authority of people's lives in our hands. We don't vote our feelings or our anger on someone. We don't do that. We don't do that.
I agree.
We don't do that. We don't do that. My heart cries out. My heart cries out. Things got to get better. Everybody try to be safe during the storm. That's all I got, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you for your heartfelt words, Commissioner Pearson. Commissioner McNeil.
Thank you, Mayor. That's hard act to follow, or hard sentiment to follow there. But you know, we all have our opinions and we have our interpretation of what goes on up here, and I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you listening to me, and I appreciate your because I want equal time tonight. Okay, I want to say, in my life, I see the glass half full instead of half empty, and I see our commission as being very fair and very impartial, especially when it comes to race. We saw the gentleman tonight. We interviewed the gentleman. She brought up Ricketson Construction. This was a black gentleman who was appealing to us to make this decision on their behalf, and we did. We voted 4-3 for that, or we voted in favor of that recommendation by the department head, by somebody who knew and understood what was going on. In the other decision, we only upheld something that a judge had ruled on many years ago. We were just upholding that. And again, in the mayor's defense, that is something that was, you know, it had already been visited and already been discussed. So in our defense, that's where we're coming from with that. And I can appreciate, again, just having the opportunity to say that to everybody so you'll understand. Please question me on that later if you'd like. I'll be glad to give you more information. But what I want to say is we've got some people in this community who work so hard to build it up, to make it wonderful, to do the right thing, to try to make the right decisions. And we've got so much going for us. We had a wonderful weekend here in Douglas and Coffee County. Our fire department, our firemen all turned out Saturday in their turnout gear and walked the city of Douglas to help the Boys and Girls Club, to raise money for the Boys and Girls Club, to help with that organization. And they did a wonderful job. They didn't just turn out, they turned out in their turnout gear. How much does it weigh? How much does it weigh? 65 pounds walking in the heat with those little children and the sirens going. It was quite a scene. I want to say our first Friday that we had Friday evening was one of the greatest successes we've ever had downtown. The merchants were busy. You had to wait in line wherever. There were hardly any parking spots downtown. It was wonderful. There was music, a celebration going on downtown. We passed some things tonight that I think are going to help with that. I want to say how much we care about this city and how much we love it. Our airport's got some great things going on right now. We are just blown away by the success stories out there. And I also want to invite everyone to come. John Glosson is having a concert. John Glosson is the gentleman here from Douglas and Coffee County who sang at the Cardinals game the other night. He sang the national anthem and does a beautiful job. He's going to be singing at the Martin Center on October 21st. I want to invite all of you to come for that. I'm about quality of life. I love things like this that our children and our families can enjoy together. There's a Jason Crabb concert also coming up. I'm not sure of the date. Please check your calendar. That's going to be in November, I think. The hospital did a great job with the health fair this week. So I just think, you see the pink bows up here? This is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Let's talk about the good things, and let's see the good in people, and let's see the good these folks do up here, okay? Because we're all trying real hard to be fair, to not be racially motivated in any way, shape, or form, okay? Believe me, believe that from the bottom of my heart. I can tell you that, okay? I tell you that it has nothing to do. I too was at Miss Ingrid Sellers' the investiture ceremony, and I was so proud. Yes, she's from the West Indies. She's from Jamaica. Wonderful, beautiful lady with a wonderful spirit. I met your sister the other night. She was, you know, at the class reunion.
Coffee High School.
Oh gosh, what a great! Yes, what a great woman and a great school teacher. So professional and so well spoken. And there's just a lot of good things going on in Douglas and Coffee County, y'all. And we see the glass a different way. We're looking at things through a different lens. So, again, Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you. I have some comments here. First of all, as the Mayor Pro Temp has already said, and Ms. Henderson, we have 2 junk drop-off days. Those are very successful. As code enforcement gets their mechanisms aligned, they're going to be looking at rundown houses, overgrown lots, junk cars, and stuff like that. So this gives you an opportunity to do a little cleaning. And as Ms. Henderson stated earlier, you don't have to wait till once a month. You can come down there and take a little bit. Now, again, this is for residential residents, not professionals, okay? The next thing is
you mean not businesses?
Not businesses.
Okay.
Right, not businesses. Thank you. The next thing is received a call this weekend. Kudos to the electric department. I was unaware that we did not do any turn-ons on the weekend, and made a few calls, couple texts. Young lady had been hospitalized for a couple months, and she came home and her lights were off. And she's an elderly woman, She had been in the hospital for a couple months, and she just wanted to stay in her home. She just wanted to stay in her home. However, I think that the city currently only do turn-ons up until 8:30, I believe, Monday through Friday. I did reach out to Mike Hudson and the city manager, and Mike rustled up his guys, and the young lady that was assisting the elderly lady said, the city beat me over there. So hopefully in the near future, I would like to revisit that. She didn't have, from my understanding, any problems about paying the $85 or anything like that. And I will say this right here. With her age, being in the hospital for an extended period of time, it probably did her really good to just be in her home. Just probably did her really good. My next item is the hurricane. Mike, you've heard us give some precautions throughout the meeting. We've had the Red Cross. I ask humbly that you stay alert to what's going on. The model that we're tracking out of Jacksonville, Florida, does have a significant impact on the city of Douglas if it continues this current course. Down trees, down power lines, debris. Make sure that you take care of your pet. Get your pet in the house. If you have a trampoline or some loose debris outside, a bicycle or a motorcycle or something like that, it would probably be best to bring it in and probably secure that. A lot of injuries happen because of flying debris. I know the last time I was out and about, and I have this little bitty sports car, and the wind was just tossing that sucker all over the place. So as Mr. Neesmith said, that we are considering maybe having a curfew. We hadn't decided that yet. That's just so that we can keep citizens off the street during the main part of the hurricane, making sure that we have enough first responders to be able to reach out to individuals that are in need. Also, I invited Stuart Scott with the Chamber and the EDA to attend the briefings, the weather briefings, just so that the business community will know what's going on. My next item is my coffee hydrogens. We just having some growing pains now, but we'll be all right. We played well enough to win the game. It's just that we're young. The majority of our class can't even drive to practice. You know what I mean? They just that young. I think the starting quarterback is a sophomore. You know what I mean? So bear with us. We're going to get our footing, and we're going to move forward. My next item is Parks and Recreation. And I want to talk about Mr. Johnny Wilkerson. Mr. Johnny Wilkerson epitomizes what our Parks and Recreation is about. Last Tuesday I had the opportunity to go watch my great nephew TP3 play flag football. My nephew Tony and my nephew Oscar actually coached them. You could not tell them that they were not coaching in the NFL. I had a list of jokes for them, and after the game, they was like, don't want to hear none of your jokes. This is real business. This is real business. So the parking lot was jam-packed. I mean, it was heartwarming and touching. And as I was getting ready to leave, because nobody would listen to my jokes, I ran across Mr. Johnny Wilkerson. Mr. Johnny Wilkerson has this turbocharged scooter that he had one grandchild in sort of like a stroller, but the position that he was in, he could watch one grandchild playing flag football and the other grandchild playing tackle football. That's what we're about at our Parks and Recreation. It's a family event. It's a family event, and it's a good feeling. It's a real good feeling to see our young girls out there dressed up, cheering. You know, we have a way more cheerleaders than the Trojans or the middle school. Some of those young girls may not never get a chance to cheer for a football game, but the city of Douglas provides that. My next comment is on Dr. Sellers. Impressive. I've talked to her a few times. I think that our college is on the right track. But then again, as the mayor of the city of Douglas, I always talk of good. You know what I mean? I'm a little biased, and I tell folks that I'm a little biased. You know, when it comes to park and recreation, I'm a little biased. When it comes to the teen court, we're getting ready to kick out. We had our mock trial Saturday, and we're going to do it for real next month. So again, that's an opportunity for our children that may have misbehaved a little bit to get a second chance. I'm not sure about the DCA awards. I want to talk to the city manager after that. But you know, Commissioner Pearson laid out her heart, and this is one of the things I tell folks all the time. America is the greatest country that God has ever allowed to exist. But there are some problems that have plagued us for generations that I would think that we put a man on the moon, we should be able to resolve some of these issues. It's breast cancer month. My sister Keela had breast cancer, and that community didn't know her at all, and they embraced her. They encouraged her. They prayed for her. I think cancer should be one of those problems we should have resolved by now. And what happens is the funding to find something. And people say, well, Mayor Park, you have a grandiose point of view. Well, polio was a bad boy. Polio was a bad boy at the beginning of the last century. We put polio in its place. We put polio in its place. You know, 25 years ago, if a child was born premature, they didn't have a great chance of surviving. You know what I mean? I got a couple premature relatives. Them suckers borderline overweight. You know what I mean? So we have made those progresses. Some of those progresses that we have not made as far as humanity, race being the epicenter of a lot of things. This is a problem that we should have resolved. I think that in order to resolve that, we have to try to understand each other's point of view, our history, our education, our social and economic backgrounds, and things like that. I also think that poverty is one of the issues we should have resolved. It disturbs me greatly to know that there are Americans that will lay down tonight and be homeless and not have an opportunity. There was a term a few years ago, working in poverty, working and living in poverty, because the minimum wage does not provide an opportunity for some individuals to even own a home. And I'm having discussions with a few people on the Economic Development Authority about that. The next thing is hunger. Why are people in the United States of America going to sleep hungry? That bothers me. Those are some of the issues that I think we should resolve. I try to be fair and impartial when I sit in this chair. And one of the things is, today I actually had a lengthy conversation with Ms. Cheryl Cunningham about her issues. And I told her, I say, you know, you make a valid point. And this is one of the things that I try to do. Sometimes sitting up here as the mayor, you walk alone. It's a lonely road sometimes. You know, and I'm going to say their names. You know, Francis Lott has been influential in this community for a long time. If I listened to Francis Lott, or I'd done what Francis Lott said, people would be in an uproar. But if I would listen and do what another person say, it would be okay. If I listened to this group of people and done what they said, a group of people would be in an uproar. But if I listened to this group of people, it would be okay. My thing is this right here. What I try to do is I have to have an open and honest dialogue with everybody. Just like I did with Cheryl. You know, Cheryl, we talked for a while, but you know what? I pick up the phone and I try to call the individuals on the agenda to get a better understanding. Just because that conversation may not go the way that I wanted to go, but I did call you, correct? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And I said what? I was apprehensive to call you, okay? And I'm telling the truth. That's our growth. So, and I say this right here. I'm going to listen to everybody in the city of Douglas. I don't care if you have $1 in the bank or $1 million in the bank. I don't care if you white, black, blue, green, Hispanic, or Indian. I am the only member of this council that represents 50-50. All 6 wards, at least 90% of your constituents look like you. Only 50% of mine look like me. As the mayor of the city of Douglas, I will listen to everyone about what they have to say. But at the end of the day, I vote for what I feel is best for the city of Douglas. That's the whole point. I need to listen to this person, this group, everybody. But at the end of the day, I vote the way I feel is best for the city of Douglas. Just as Commissioner Gowan, the Mayor Pro Temp, Commissioner Taylor, Commissioner McNeil, Commissioner Moore, and Commissioner Pearson. And I respect that vote. As Mr. Roper said, you fight, but when the vote is cast, move on. Learn to fight another day. And hopefully you didn't tear down any bridges, because it's still a consensus. It is still a consensus. In order to get anything done, it still takes 4 votes. I always say be mindful of your words. Be mindful of your body language. Be mindful of your tone. Individuals may take that differently. And guess what? That tears down relationships. And look, I tell you like this right here. I am all about building relationships to try to do what I feel is best for the citizens of Douglas. And guess what? One of the conversations that Cheryl and I had, a part of that conversation was, you know, as a parent, if you have a child that's going through something, you migrate over there to that child. It's not that you don't love those other children. They just are strong enough to get through it. But when that other child gets propped up, you move back in the center. Some of our wards need more attention. And we have to show that. What we do up here as a council is important. And I'm going to close with this. The first time I was elected as mayor, our Minister of Music, Mr. Buckhannon, said, "Congratulations, you're the mayor of the city of Douglas." I'm like, what? We was at watch night, sir. I said, yeah, I am the mayor of the city of Douglas. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, cool. And that radiated with me. This time, when I was elected, I was at the altar and I was praying about this. Do not, I asked the Lord to remove the sensation of wanting to sit in this chair. Because if the sensation of sitting in this chair is your most paramount objective, you cannot vote for what you think is best. You just can't. You have to vote for what this person says, or this person says, or this person says. I make some hard decisions up here. When it gets 3-3, I walk alone sometimes, and that's okay. I'm a big boy. I have thick skin, and as God continues to bless our council, we can get better. But it's like this right here. You have to want to do better. You can't give lip service. You got to want to do better. We can sit up here all day and say all these things, but then we walk out of this chamber and we don't even communicate. We don't even have a conversation. We don't even have a conversation.
We don't.
So how my mayor pro temp, I used to call the mayor pro temp 4 and 5 times a day, right or wrong?
That's correct.
I rarely call you now.
That's correct.
Correct?
Because of changes that's been made.
Correct.
Votes been made.
There you go.
Been said. Things have been done.
There you go.
I mean, that all comes with it.
There you go. So
But
how
it
do
shouldn't.
Yeah, but how do we decide that we're going to correct this? We've said that we want to have some conversations. I'm willing to talk to anybody.
But it's good to have conversation, but we got to act in the right manner.
I agree to that. Now,
we got to do things to make heal in those right manners.
But the thing is,
about it all day, but at the end of the day, we must activate what we say.
Correct. But let me ask you this right here. Your position and your vote may be one way, and Commissioner Bob Moore's may be another way.
Correct.
So we have to vote and move on.
That's correct.
So,
but my thing is too, sometimes you can be pressed to vote.
Correct. You can.
And that's the truth.
And I think
it has happened up here.
Whoa, excuse me. So my thing is this right here. So that we can get out of here, I want the citizens of Douglas to know this right here. I think that this is a great council. I know that this is a great council. We just hit a little rough spot, a little turbulence, and hopefully we can get through it. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
It's been motioned and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We stand adjourned.